Welcome back, everybody, to Final Fantasy XIV Online. This is episode 247, and we're going to go talk to Jacke at the Rogues Guild. We are currently getting all of our classes through their Realm Reborn quests before we head into Heavenswood. And we're really close to heading into Heavenswood. We're actually past the end of a Realm Reborn and almost through the patches. So I thought I'd take a pause before we finish the patches and got to Heavenswood, just to get all of these classes up to where they should be at the end of a Realm Reborn, because I want to be able to lockstep the gear so that we're not having the continual issues I'm now facing with one of my more advanced characters, who's got a whole array of different jobs at different levels, and I can't fit all the gear in to allow my characters to progress through their jobs because I can't fit it in the armory chest and I'm running out of inventory space. So what I'm doing is lockstepping the jobs, because some of them will overlap in their gear as we get to the later parts of the game. And it's kind of something I wish I knew to do with my first character, but I didn't, and now I'm paying the price because I'm having to junk perfectly good gear that I want to keep and that I know I'm going to need later, which means I'm going to have to buy gear that I'm going to need later for her. So although I think I did have someone in my free company tell me the other day if I needed gear to let them know. So maybe that's one way to solve it. But Ros doesn't have a free company, and I'm a bit reluctant to join one because then you guys would, then they wouldn't have as much privacy. And I kind of think it's a bit important for them to have that privacy. I'm going to just move my head over here so you can see the chat box at the moment. There's no one being nefarious in there. We're currently in the novice network. I'm going to move it into a party network so that if I do any dungeons, I'm already in there, because I keep forgetting to do it, and it's embarrassing because I go to say good game and find out I've just told the entire novice network, thanks guys, good game. And they're like, yeah, you made a perfectly understandable sprout mistake. 2,000 hours into this game, I don't think I should be being given that kind of grace, but people are very kind. All right, Jacke. For a wee lass, that Milala's got some bollocks, and it seems she's done well with what with her pirate stock. I don't take kindly to Cole's pulling me strings, but the shrew is right. The code's been broken and we've got a job to do. From the sounds of it, though, them coves knew what they were about when they clawed them treasures. I'll need you at your best. It's time you learnt the art of mugging. Rough up a cull in just the right way, and he'll give up more than what you get if you just plain knocked him on his arse. Me and the lads will be busy whittling the story on them bitten baubles, so you're free to head out and sharpen your skill. Might even be as you'll pocket some extra blunt while you're at it, eh? Alright, level 15. So we'll be able to do the next one. What are we going to do? Can I currently go see? I love being able to do this too. You get there and you can see what gear you've got. Okay, you can see what gear is on offer. Looks like I've got nothing on offer here that's going to be any better. So I can look at this and I can say I'm not taking on anything less than level 25. And all of this gear is kind of level 15. So we know we're going to take our elegant bronze pieces and be happy. We now have Mug, which is kind of fun. We completed our quest. I think we can take our next quest. We're going to be right for about the next. So level 20 quest, level 25 quest. And then we're going to have to look at doing some duty finder and some other side quests. And I'm actually going to try and keep the side quests until I'm down to about my last 3 or 4. I am down to my last 3 or 4. Anyway, that's right. I might have to come back and do the side quests later. Right, what am I doing? Talking to Jacke. Grinners in the mist. Jacke appears eager to hunt down the Maelstrom's stolen treasures. Been practicing your dance steps, Roselore? Because we're about to ready to run rings around Captain Milala and her swads. Her swads, eh? Yellow Jackets have been pressing their investigations into the treasures, what was clawed from the Maelstrom tub, but as you know, we got our own network of coves, what don't miss naught of what's going on about town. As for the sharp end of the job, it'll be you, me, Underfoot, and the Stray. Let's get down to business, eh? All right, well, I'm in honoured company, aren't I? Uh-oh. But Kebby's late to the feast, so I'll just make sure we're all on the same page for the now. When you get down to it, we have 2 goals for this job. Bite back them 3 treasures and mail the coves what clawed him in the first place. You can be sure that that yellow jacket shrew will be doing her damnedest to beat us to the marks, and seeing as the fate of the guild is at stake, we best not drag our Jew beaters on this one. I say we grab all them baubles before she's lifted anchor and give her a proper reason to rage against us rogues. You seem awful keen on this contest all of a sudden, Jackie. Aye, well, here's the thing. I sent me a grievance to the thalassocracy regarding the shrew's challenge, but them paper shufflers don't care a whit as long as one of us gets a job done. So I figured I'd sail with the wind rather than against it. Besides, we wouldn't want to shirk our duties and force poor Captain Milala to blunder about in the scary darkness, now would we? How very gentlemanly of you. Well, them's the cards what we been dealt, ain't they? Now stow your gulps and let's hear what you learn about them bloody treasures already. Aye, the treasures. According to the manifest of that maelstrom vessel, we're looking to bite back the cerulean star, the silver sorrows, and something called the black sarcophagus. Aside from them fancy names, I was able to whittle a few more details. Cerulean star, for starters, is a big old blue diamond what shines like a star, I suppose. Then we got the silver sorrows, pair of earrings what once graced the wattles of Sultana of Uldar. There's a tale there, but one what don't concern us at present. Lastly, this black sarcophagus thing. I'm afraid that one remained a mystery, no matter how much I poked and prodded. In any case, all three of these trinkets was recorded as spoils from official privateering raids. Now, as you know, a pirate will usually sell his plunder through a reliable fence. Sometimes, though, holding an auction is the only way to offload goods what is too extravagant or just too bleeding rare for the average cull to deal in. Our three wondrous treasures fell into the auction-only category. When the bidding began in Aleport, the thalassocracy weighed in with its ample purse, made some unmatchable offers, and organised a tub for the merchandise to be shipped back to Limsa. And that's when our marks swooped in and picked up their transport clean. I had a few weeds with their maelstrom sailors as survived an attack, and they pointed the finger at the grinning curs. Problem is, not one cull's been seen eyed nor air of the curs, not to mention their bloody ship, since the raid. Sorry I'm late, Jackie, but you'll want to hear this. Some of the cargo what was cleared from that transport was just found during a routine inspection at the Lathagran checkpoint. Lathagran? Have the curs made landfall then? And what are the treasures? Any mention of them? Not that I've heard, but the jackets ain't done shaking out all the boxes yet. Then we better get our eyes out there quick like, Roselore. Underfoot, you're fresh for a run, ain't you? Yeah, if we can get it. Come on, lass. I'll race you to the checkpoint. Do not underestimate those short little Lullafell legs. Roselore might have long legs, but I don't think she's keeping up with him. Alrighty, let's go. The Lathagran checkpoint. You know what we want to do to get to there? Yeah, we're going to leave the guild. I know, I really leave the guild and I'm like, no, I don't want to. I want to stay a part of it. There goes my stupid brain making straight line thinking instead of squiggles. Read the reading, girl. Read the reading. Alrighty, let's go. Now, we could go anywhere in here if we want, but actually we want to go to Milala, the Zephyr Gate, because that's going to take us closest to Grinners in the Mist. That one there, that's a Blue Mage quest. I'm a little bit scared to take it because it's a whole new set of adventures, and I might have to, do stuff. Rightio, the Zephyr Gate. Why did you do that? Just click the Zephyr Gate. Thank you. Alright. We are heading not into the ocean, dear. Let's go for a run. I need to put my running where it should be. Is this a fate? It's Little Lost Lamb fate, isn't it? On the lamb, 14 minutes. It just spurred just for us. Let's get some practice in then. Oh, what? Okay, fine. Oh boy, instant karma. Those sheep are now out to get me. So what we're doing here is we're oh, I don't know that one yet. Okay. I know, you vengeful little lamb thing, you. Here's another one. Let's go get it. What? Ow! He pinged me. Good. Let me just get some healing done. That's what you get for not looking what you're doing. Oh, my fate target again. What the heck? Alright, clearly I ran out of the fate target zone. That's what happened. That's why my health was suddenly so low too. And because we're out of it again. Right. Okay. When you're doing a fate that you've got to adjust the level for, make sure you stay inside the target area. Otherwise, it will unsync you. And then you won't be able to play. And then you'll be a sad little panda like I just was. Okay. Right. Also, I don't know why it's running in the opposite direction. That's just rude. Because I've got to wait about here for them now. Otherwise, they're going to be outside. Alright, let's go back this way to our maelstrom, our yellow jacket friends. And we'll wait for the next 3 to come down. So we stay inside the blue. I don't ever remember having that problem with it before, but okay. I don't know how to throw daggers yet, because we've been level synced. So basically, this exercise isn't so much for leveling up, because it's such a low level fate. It's for our challenge log entry in your fate. Alright, and that we find in here. So in your fate, challenge log, go down to fates. We complete 10 fates, we'll earn 4,000 gil and 18,000 XP. And once we get to complete, we complete 2 more unique challenges and we will have another 10 grand in our bank account. Always kind of worth the effort. Here I am just running through in the open, completely oblivious. Perimu, if he doesn't tell me off, I'll be very surprised. Hey. A 1-hour race? You owe me a pint, Roselore. Japes aside, though, it looks like Vakebi was right about the cargo. From what I've been able to catch from them squads at the gate, it seems a peddler was boned for carrying goods what was known to be aboard that transport. They carted the poor sod away in chains, but the cargo itself was still there. I saw a pair of jackets carrying boxes up that wooden ramp. We need to know what's in them crates. I get the feeling they won't open their gans for the asking, though, not while this fool's challenge is going on. Do you think you could skulk over there and see what they found? See if they found them treasures yet? Yeah, sure. I will go into hide. And then I'll toddle my way over this way. And it looks like I've got to go up the ramp, doesn't it? Rightio. And along this way. Into the listening zone. 2 yellow jacket soldiers are inspecting the seized cargo. Approach them well cloaked by your hide ability and attempt to listen in on their progress. The yellow jackets are discussing the contents of the crates. This is all junk. No diamond, no earrings, and no bloody black sarcophagus. Looks like we'll have to lean hard on that skinny peddler if we're to find them treasures. Sergeant says the merchant's still pleading ignorance. Claims he was hired to carry the goods through the checkpoint and naught else. What pile of pugil shite. I'm guessing the pirates have split the cargo and are trying their luck at every checkpoint. Captain Milala has already given orders to double the guard and inspect every cart and wagon what comes through. Alrighty, let's toddle back this way then. I think we better go report into Perimu. Perimu Harimau. Harimau being tiger in Indonesian. I wonder what Perimu is. My Peri tiger? I don't know. Oh, Haurimu. So not Harimau. Okay. I liked my translation better. Let's go. So they found naught of value, eh, Benny? Thought we'd lost the contest before we'd been properly started. Be that as it may, something don't add up here. Why would you order a cull to carry the goods through the checkpoint? No smuggler is that daft, surely. And even if by some miracle of the gods you swam through Lathagron without raising a fuss, why would you risk taking merchandise back to the city what you cloyed it from? No, there's a bigger picture here, and we need to take a step back to see it. Assuming the Kerrs hired this peddler to do their dirty work, there'll be someone in the shadows that's brokered the deal. And I just happen to know a cove what makes it his business to oversee these kinds of shady arrangements. The thing is, this black marketeer bloke changes his haunts depending on how the breeze blows. Quite literally, in fact. I seem to recall the navigator's veil being shifted by a westerly this morning, so that'd put him... at Tiller's Rest. Nice and close. Why don't you go ask him a few questions before we head back to the guild? All right, Tiller's Rest is near the farm, Somerset Farm. So we could fly there, or we could teleport to here and then fly there, because I don't feel like walking, and I can fly since I finished A Realm Reborn to the end of the first part before the patches. So I'm actually really looking forward to the next part of what comes after Dawn Trail. A little bit excited. I know, because they're shifting things. They're going to change things around, and I'm just curious to see what they're going to do to the story to shake it up, because they're going to shake things up a little. I know, a bit excited. All right, here's our black marketeer. I pride myself on my memory for faces, but yours is unknown to me. Are you an earnest customer or an inquisitive annoyance? I must be sure of your intentions. I sense a hostile presence. Well, fine then. Can pluck it, mate. That thing is not plucking me. That's it, Fluffy. Don't let it pluck you either. Alright. We did it. Oh, you are such a funny fella, aren't you? Yeah, the dance is old, but the name is new. Put away your daggers, rogue. I have peddled my wares to your kind since the upright thieves stalked the night. Speak, what would you have of this humble merchant? Still tormenting the cults, eh, Grandad? We've come for information on a smuggling job. There was this peddler what was caught at the Lathargan checkpoint moving merchandise for the Grinners. Pleaded innocence even when he had the screws put on him. You wouldn't know all about that deal, would you? Every last sordid detail. Not a single grain of stolen sand passes through the shadows without my knowledge. But such prickly wisdom lodges tightly in one's throat. What have you brought to ease the pain of its passage? Spare me the theatrics, Grandad. Here's your usual purse. The sum is paid, the deal is made. May my answers sate your fickle hunger. Your hapless peddler was indeed innocent. He was but a beast of burden employed by associates of the grinning curs, and likely knew naught of his freight's tainted nature. A pawn, if you will, a convenient decoy. There are those amongst my acquaintances who specialise in providing such services. Aye, that's what I thought. The curs wanted that cull to get caught, and now the jackets have had a taste, they'll waste their time yaffling every shite pie which comes through their checkpoints. Meanwhile, the real treasures are hidden away in the Darklands, along with the grinning curs. Not the Darklands, Master Rogue. The Mist. Aside from the travelling merchant, the curs' associates have spent coin on another piece for this little game. A navigator, one who's practised in piloting a vessel through the Doxy's pull. The Doxy's? The gods only know how many ships have sailed into that fog soup and never come out again. And that's where you say the curs have gone to ground? Now there's a trick what took symbolics. Once their hunted tub was sitting dimber in the mist, though, it would have been easy to take these associates of theirs. to have these associates of theirs ferry the junk goods to Noscea. Then the canny coves just needed to wait for the peddler to get boned and draw the glazers of the yellow jackets inland. We need to strike now. As soon as they learn the coast is clear, they'll flee for open waters. A fair appraisal of events. Now that you know the location of your marks, however, it will not be so difficult to track them down. The Doxy's Pull was once an impenetrable shroud, but ever since the calamity, the mists are far less constant. Narrow your search to the heaviest banks, and you'll soon uncover those who wish to remain unseen. But now a warning. The mist conceal other dangers besides the dogs you seek. A careless step may land you upon the chopping block. The chopping block? You can't mean... Seems I found myself another lead to look into. You hurry on back to Jacke and tell him what we've learnt so far. Look at that, honour amongst thieves. Hurry back to Jacke, he says. Where's my home point set? Not Camp Tranquil. Rightio, Limsa Lominsa is where we need to be. Alright. Let's go. Into the Ethernet. And down to Fisherman's Guild. And we'll wander young Ros over to the Rose Guild. You always got to make a bit of a run to the Rose Guild. There's no gate straight in, so you just got to, be a little bit fitter and a bit faster. There we go. Long word. You looking at inside? Oh, I sure am, Lonnie. Alrighty. Talk to Jacke. Quest isn't over yet? My gosh. About time, lass. You was gone so long I was sent the stray after you. What happened to Underfoot? Well, you see, he's looking into another lead. So, our marks and their bitten baubles are snug inside the Doxy's Pull, eh? I'll not discount the old man's warning, but we may not have the Benar chance to crash the curs and grab all them treasures. We board their ship right now. You, me, and Vakebi. I suppose we'll be needing ourselves a tub for the voyage. I'll have wids with Swansint and see what the dry docks can spare us by way of a ship and a reliable crew. Get your kit and meet us there. Alright, where are we going? Arabia Dry Docks. Well, let's just go straight there, shall we? Oh no, we could run it, which is just coming in through the gate up in that corner and coming down. Or we can just pay the fee and head on over at 104,641. You know, to get an apartment we need 400 grand. Got our work cut out for us. I have to see what my retainers have been selling. Let's toddle on down. He's around the corner, isn't he? Here he is. Oh boy. Bird, you are not helping with the visibility. Speaking of which though, let us, before we go any further, have some mint lassie, because it's 3% more XP. Let us refresh our bird so he doesn't disappear at an inconvenient point in time. Now let's talk to Jacke. Oh wait, before we go any further, let's check our gear, see if we've leveled up enough to get new stuff. No, we have not. Do we have... No, we have no green in here, so that's fine. Let's just, very quickly, I've got some white dots there. Let's pull out the materia. And we'll pull the materia from that one. Basically, we haven't deconstructed it or ruined the material. We still have it. Ros, what was that dance for? Just because you got some more materia, smarty. You're not going to do it again? Or maybe that was a really good bit of materia. Savage Might, Heaven's Eye. Ah, Heaven's Eye materia 2. Right, I see. But that wasn't what we got the dance for. We got materia 1. Okay. I missed one. I did miss one. That one. No, we did that. Oh, I retrieved the materia instead of extracting the materia. I did do the wrong thing. Alright, well, I guess in that case, we are going to meld it. Put it back. It's not a high enough level to take on the higher level materials. So we're going to go for skill speed. Being a rogue, it's only 162. Velveteen. She's a happy girl, isn't she? We've got one each of these. So Heaven's Eye material gives us better direct hit rate, so we'll meld that in. So we're just making our gear a bit better than it has been. That happy little dance. Savage Might material gives us determination, so we'll meld that stuff in, which is up here. Now it's at a whole 106. Okay, good. And it's also gotten it out of our backpack, which is kind of nice. Update our gear set so that all the materia registers as well. Grab this. I am going to sort it because it is driving me kind of just a little bit bananas. So we go down here to sort. Now I can see exactly how much I've got. Obtained and registered. Obtained it. So we need to go up to the, I said this last time, up to the casino and cash those in, and we might as well sell that while we're there. We've got some materials we could either put on the market board or sell. It all depends on how much space my retainers have, because I just want to clear my pack. Although making a little bit of money wouldn't be a bad idea either. Let's go talk to Jackie. All right, Roselore, I pulled in some favours, and there's a crew will get us close enough to scamper aboard the crew's vessel. It'll be cramped up on that deck. If you try and mill the whole lot at once, we'll soon find ourselves up against the rails. So we go in quick and quiet and try and knock them off a few at a time. Well, lass, are you eager to test your sea legs? I'm glad you're talking to Ros, because I hate testing my sea legs. Alrighty. See, I don't like the sea because it scares me. Right. But Ros looks like she's fine. Let's go get it. Into the mist. Defeat the grinning curs. Right, no one's seen us so far. Let's get to work. I'll see me stabbers in the captain. Those two at the back there are yours. Follow me, Roselore, says Vikebi. Radio. Where'd Vikebi go? I figured she would. She's quick, isn't she? Stop backstabbing me, Captain, you rat. Oh, you're gonna front stab me instead. Excellent. Oh, this is the captain, my bad. This is the growler. So it's like a big cat, and then we're going to get this guy. Stitcher. Hey. 9 on him. Got him. All right. Jackie, I found me one of them treasures. Unless there's another fist-sized blue diamond on board, it's got to be the cerulean star. As for them other two baubles, I've tossed the caverns and been through the old Ilmaeum, but there's naught else here. Well, we'll just have to ask all sweet like, won't we? Spit it out, cur. Where are you keeping the rest of your treasures? Ah, you think I'd spill me guts for the likes of you, rogue? Maybe you wouldn't at that. But what about this partner you're working with? How'd you... We don't need no partner. So you're telling me this was all your own idea? You woke up one day and decided you'd attack a maelstrom transport right off the coast of Aleport, then disappear into the love and embrace of the Doxy's pool. Not exactly your style, is it? The grinning curs are too bleeding famous for being the crew what turned their snouts up at privateering in favour of keeping to the old ways. You've only escaped the yellow jacket's grip this time by crawling on your bellies and snatching scraps what fell from the table. You ain't the type to sink your teeth into a Navy-owned vessel, no matter the prize. Aye, well, there ain't no profit in being cautious no more. The age of pirates is swift coming to an end. Melwib won't be stopped, not by a piddling little crew like mine. That's why we've thrown in our lot with the executioners. That blue rock was just our share of the loot, the scraps from the table, like you said. If you want them other trinkets, then you'll have to take it up with our new mates. One job at a time, lass. First we need to get these stinking coves in their tub back to the docks. Right. Okay, let's have a quick chit-chat with Jackie. Putting aside the issue who gave the orders, there's no doubt that these was the coves as raided that maelstrom ship. Now for punishment, what fits the crime? Haha, not likely, look at here. I was informed that a certain well-known pirate ship was spotted weighing anchor at the Moraby dry docks. I assumed this was your work? Aye, you missed all the excitement, Captain, but never you mind. The cerulean star is back and bobbing you in your squeaking little fambles. Huh! And these must be the grinning curs. Uh-oh. Degenerate fiends, how dare you ply your filthy trade in Lominsan waters? How many innocent sailors were massacred that you might sate your vile avarice? Every one of your kind ought to be lined up and shot. A musket ball is the only answer for this rampant display of lawlessness. Wait. Do you mean just to execute him here on the bloody docks? At least take the buggers into custody first. Handing them over to you for lawful punishment will justify the demands of the code just as well. We've already got the answers to our questions, so feel free to take them away. Do not presume to give me orders, rogue. You only managed to capture these villains and their ill-gotten treasure by employing unsavoury and unconscionable means. Why, you're naught more than pirates yourselves. These bastards ain't worth a true pirate's spit. The upright thieves was formed to protect us from ourselves. Now they're just hunting dogs for the Admiral. Melwib yanks the leash and another buccaneer disappears. You rogues are traitors to your own kind. If it hadn't been for you... Aye, go on then. Blame me and me coast for your own failures. You knew what you was about when you defied the code. You knew what we'd be after you. We're done here. There are still two treasures left, rogue, and I mean to claim them both. I reconsider this contest of yours, Captain. Turns out this fish we're trying to hook is a shark, and it might just swallow you whole. Wow. Okay. Do we get to talk to Milala? Oh, look at that. What shark is he speaking of? And how could any pirate challenge the might of the Yellow Jackets? No, he seeks but to unnerve me. I'll wring the truth from these grinning curs, and we'll see who triumphs over whom. Okay, and then she just repeats it. Oh, I like it. Actually get a little bit of info, extra info. Speak with Jackie at the Rogues Guild. I'm really going to have to reset my my home point to the Limsa, Lominsa, and Etherite, I think. Otherwise I'm going to spend a fortune every time I finish a mission for the Rogues. And there are a few of them, at least for the moment. Alright, let's set home point. Yep, change it from Camp Tranquil. We're now set at the home point, so that's good. Cancel out of that. Let's jump into the Ethernet, and we'll head on over to the Fisherman's Guild. Beautiful. And chuck a Yui and head on down this way. Alright, speak to Lonnie. Hey Lonnie, how you doing? Yes, I would love to head inside. Thank you so much. Alright, let's go have a quick chit chat to Jackie. Hey. Been their work on that shit, Roselore. First blood is ours. How'd you take to fighting at sea? There are a few of us can drop an opponent as quick as a rogue, but mind you don't exhaust yourself just flailing your blades at the tougher coves. And that goes double for you when you've mates on your flanks. If you notice yourself starting to flag, there's naught wrong with pulling back from time to time and staggering your attacks with each other to keep the pressure on. I've said it afore, lass, but I'll need you sharp enough to carve steel for what's to come. I'm afraid this will be more of a challenge than even what that little shrew was bargaining for. That's assuming the curves wasn't lying about the executioners. The executioners are who I bloody think they are. Twixt you and me, though, I'm hoping the name is just some laughable coincidence. Alright, anything over 25. So we're still looking at gear that's not quite as good as what we got. Don't ask me how I managed it. I think it's from one of my other classes, actually. Alright, talk to Jackie. Sweet Sorrows, our level 25 quest. Jackie wishes to discuss the plan for recovering the remaining treasures. Oh there, Roselore, we've a rough job ahead of us, and that's a fact. Matters are tangled enough, what with that Milala mort snapping at our heels, but we still managed to grab all that first trinket without too much fuss. Biting back them other two treasures, though, that'll be a different story. Once the stray gets here, I'll explain what, or more to the point, who, we're up against. Alright. Alright, we've two baubles left on the list, the Silver Sorrows and the Black Sarcophagus. Let's see where we're at. Boy, where's Perimu got to? Underfoot, he's still looking to whittle the tale about that bleeding sarcophagus. We'll not be clawing that stickler until we've at least an inkling as to what the bloody thing looks like. Treasures aside, we've been doing some digging on my own on these executioner allies of the Grin and Cursed. I'm afraid the name weren't no coincidence. Roselore, you've heard of the bloody executioners, I hope? Seems them curs was feeding from the famble of one of the nation's greatest pirate powers. This ain't no ordinary crew of cutthroats, lass. Within Limsa Lominsa, the bloody executioners wield a power and influence second only to the Admiral herself. They was none too fond of Merwib or a prohibition on piracy, and it was only the overwhelming threat posed by the Galilean Empire what eventually convinced them to play nice with the thalassocracy. But pirates ain't ones to play nice for long. Now that ill fear ain't around to helm the ship, the solidarity of the bloody executioners has begun to show cracks. And the strongest captains and lieutenants have begun to form their own factions, and are scrabbling to claim the top chair for themselves. Of course, not one bloody cove can agree with another on which way the executioners ought to sail. Among these new factions, though, is a group what is pushing to break free of the Admiral's grip completely. Turns out these reformists, as they call themselves, was the ones that took the Grin and Curs under their wing. Which means they've got possession of the last two treasures we've yet to cloy. Rumours round town say that even for executioners these coves are bloody and ruthless and not to be crossed. We should sit this one out, Jackie. Piss on Milala's contest. It ain't worth this kind of grief. We'd be inviting the wrath of a crew so large and dangerous that even the Admiral ain't keen on coming to blows with them. If they ever come after us... Large or small, it don't much matter. They broke the code when they hit that maelstrom tub. Aye, the Grin and Curs are paying for that crime, but we'd be poor sodden excuses for rogues if we let the real culprits carry on unpunished. I mean to see this job to the end, and that means biting back them treasures and handing out proper justice to them as deserve it. But Jackie! Listen. Listen, with all the infighting going on at present, us stabbing a short blade into one faction's toe ain't like to bring the old executioner crew down on our heads. Besides, them reformist buggers are so far split from the main mob that they've been avoiding the city altogether. Now it's about time we got to work, Roselore. You ought to track down our black market contact. I sent him looking into the Cur's new allies a while back, so he should have some answers for us by now. A veil was lifted by a southerly this morn. That'll put the old man at his haunt in lower Noscea. Here, take this sack of blunt and pay a visit to the House of Sticks. Right, House of Sticks. That's kobold territory, if you didn't know. The old man bribes him with ore, and hires the biggest and meanest sods as bodyguards. Just be ready for your approach to be challenged. Alright, Jackie. Let's go. Alright. We've got time. Let's go. Southern Limsa. Okay, we're going to need to take the... I reckon we go in through the mines and come up. Because if I remember rightly, the area they want us to go is Kobold territory, which is where that Kobold Fate is, which puts it not far from the Red Rooster Stead, which puts it a long way from the actual gate into Southern Limsa, and so we'd be running about equidistant anyway. So, well, we can double check it on the map. Let's have a look. Alrighty. Eastern and Western Limsa. We need to go up toward the Alf Castle. Lower Limsa is here. But if you have a look, the actual, like, it'll come out here, and then we'd have to run all the way around up to here. So I think it's going to be quicker if we come out at the Zephyr, come into this set of gates here, and then just come across and up. That's a bit shorter. So we might do that. Alright, so we're going to go out through Zephyr's Gate into Middle Limsa. Alrighty. Oh man, we go on Lost Lambent again? Yeah, let's go Lost Lambent again. We got about 12 minutes left for this one. This is one of the most common fates around, so let's level sync. Whack him. That one's done. Go rescue this guy from these two vicious little sheep. Cute things that they are. There we go. Now we can help his mates out and get a few hit points back. Now, we're going to make sure that we're in the middle here. Oh, that died. Right. We're going to just deploy this one as it comes through. Where's the third one? There it is. Alright, then back to the center so that we don't end up coming out of the Fate. The next three are coming. So yeah, so it stops us from running all the way up into the trees to get them. The fact that you'll come out of the Fate to if you go too far. Alright, let's go back to the center. You can see the next one. I know, I want to run out to medium, but if I do, I'm going to be outside the Fate. Back to the center. Two. Fate's done. Fate accompli. I know, completely different thing. So what was that? Was that another challenge? You had to get how many more done? For fates. Yep. So now we just need to get 5 more fates. I kind of don't focus as much on the challenge log as I would if I was serious about getting it done every single week. And that's because there's still so much else to do in the game that I don't really have the time for it. But I do like the extra 10 grand here or there, so so we work on that. Now we've got to go up this way because he's hiding up in this top corner, so around the edge and up. Oh, that Fate just came into being. Where is it? Let's grab it. Where's my bird? There it is. Yeah, so basically as you're gaming and leveling and doing whatnot, see we're also leveling up a little bit each time. We need to be level 30 for our next quest. So if we finish this one without getting to that quest... Ah, I think they just killed it. Oh no, not done yet. Level sinking. They say every rose has its thorns. This is what we're after. if I can get to one. Hey, Sharon. There we go. We got a couple in. That's a very high level character doing their thing. Alrighty. I don't think we got a very high rating in it though, so I'm not sure we even scored anything. Oh no, we got 17 flame skills and 840 XP, so I don't think that counted because you've got to get gold for your challenge log. So into challenge logs, yeah, it did not count. But we got a little bit of XP, so there we go. Now we are, because we're so high above these kobolds, this quest, they're leaving us alone. They're not going to leave us alone for much longer though. Alrighty. Hey! All done now? Welcome to the House of Sticks, young rogue. You must excuse my hireling's enthusiasm for greeting visitors. Now, have you any cumbersome baggage of which I might relieve you before we begin our conversation in earnest? Sure, as usual. A heavy burden for one of your tender years to bear, but its weight has balanced the scales. The sum is paid and the deal is made. Let us speak of these reformists. This faction that was so wrong the code now seeks to peddle one of its stolen treasures, the earrings better known as the Silver Sorrows. The deal, it is said, is set to take place at Costa del Sol. The buyer, a moneyed merchant from the golden sands of Uldar. The earrings will be out in the open, vulnerable. I would target the moment of transaction were I so inclined, as the gentleman up there by the cabin appears to be, for he purchased this self-same information. Though he attempts to disguise his identity, the stench of a soldier yet lingers. I know not where one such as he came to learn of my existence, but I suspect he works for a certain yellow-coated captain. Brave she is, but foolish. Stumble blindly into the underworld, and your groping hands will not save you from the holes at your feet. Sudden shall be her fall. Yeah, he does look too military, doesn't he, the poor beggar? All right, let's speak with Jacke at the Rogues Guild, and this time we can actually just use return to go to Limsa without any cost whatsoever, which is kind of very nice. Let's get to it. Alrighty, away we go. Down to the Fisherman's Guild, because that's quicker. Through the Ethernet from the middle here. Boom diddly-oom. Alright, and we Yui, and away we go. Take it for a bit of a sprint. I know, all this running, it drives me crackerjack crazy. Does give you more time played in the game, however. Most of it spent running! You looking at inside? I am, Lonnie. I am. You're looking good today. Look at him. He's got his hair dyed and everything. He's pretty cute. He is a cute Regarden dude. Jacke. Welcome back, Roselore. What information did the old man have on them reformers? Looking to unload them earrings, are they? And to an all-down, no less. Can't say as I'm surprised to hear the buyers from out of town. You won't find many Lominsans willing to melt coin on all them coves are selling. Only the daftest of sods would go about funding them as a means to pull down the Admiral. Eh? One of Milala's lackeys arrived at the house afore you. How did they know to... them curs that we captured must have crackled during the shrew's interrogations. We'll have to assume the yellow jackets know what we know. That means we best get our asses to Costa del Sol right bleeding now. I'll handle this one, Jacke. You and Roselore can wait here for Perimu. Oi, But Kebby, what in the hell's is she playing at? After her, lass. She knows this ain't a solo job. Alright, she does know it's not a solo job. Let's teleport our way to Costa del Sol. Alright, well our homing instinct over here is slowly but surely rebuilding. Sweet Sorrows, that's where we want to go. Let's go. Kebby, hi. I told you to wait at the guild. I don't need... Well, it might be as I could use an extra mort in the shadows after all. Jacke has his mind set on punishing the executioners, but me, I just want to skulk in, cloy them silver bits and skulk out. I reckon that if I could manage that with no one the wiser, then they wouldn't know who to come after. Finish the job without drawing me daggers, you know? I ain't exactly true to the code, but the shield of the underworld honour won't stop them bloody killers from cutting me mates' throats and setting their sisters a glimmer. The guild's the only place what offered to take a pirate stray like me, and I'll not see it burn to the ground. Deal's about to start. Say the word when you're banding to head in. Alright, another trial. Let's go. Alright, here's what we know. The rich merchant what's come over from Uldar is some mate of Master Gagaruju, the Colour's owns Costa del Sol. Gagaruju's taken his guards and dancing dells and pranced off down the beach someplace, giving over the use of the entire resort to his friend. Seems she didn't want an audience for a bargain with the reformists. Which, as it happens, works out well for us. We'll wait till they're busy haggling over the price and snatch them sorrows and up the twig before they realise what's amiss. Sound like a plan? Yeah, sure, let's do it. Whew, let's go. Let's go. I know, exciting plus. Alright, we're going to be using our hide ability, I should imagine. There, players have arrived. The Reformers, coin counter and the all-down buyer are setting up on the southeast platform. The earrings ought to be nearby. Hang about. Who are all these other coals? The place was meant to be empty. I see some nasty-looking blokes in all-down garb, and are those Mehmets? Ugh, that merchant's brought along a whole bloody entourage. I've gone and got ahead of myself. I should have realised the job would never be that easy. We'll have to mill a few of them bodyguards first, I reckon. You don't want to fight through a forest ablaze should you get caught sneaking up on them narrow walkways. Jacke, I thought I'd... Stow your excuses, love. I know full well what you were about. You start going soft on us, though, and it'll be like losing one of my arms. Can't take on the bloody executioners all by myself. It's only because I got rogues like you and Underfoot and Roselore here that the guild can take the jobs it does. When our coves walk as shadows, it's the bleeding pirates what do the trembling. Remember that, Kebby. We ain't some two guild robbers what piss their britches when their daddles get caught in a honeypot. We're the knives and the darkmans. No bastard wants to go blade to blade with the likes of us. I see you've not changed your mind then. You'll need all the stabbers you can get, and I promise mine'll be there when you need them. Ben there. Now let's carve a path on that platform and bite back them errands. But Kebby, you hide yourself down by the docks in case the marks escape during the fighting. Roselore, you and me'll split up and mill the guards as we go. It's them puppets that concern me most. I suggest you crash them little buggers before they can spring any rum fun. Creep in as close as you dare, then give them a good solid clout from behind. Aye, it ain't the most original strategy, but that don't make it any less lethal. Once you're done with the first group, slip back into the shadows and move on to the next. Not to it, eh? Clout from behind. I think he was supposed to use mug. I'll head over to the back while you start from the front. Let's wrap this up before them jackets blunder in and scare off our marks. Alright. Using some hide. Let's go. So he wants me to take in the mammoth. From behind. Right, let's give it a minute. Alright, so I'm wanting to use 5 on him. Alright, and there we go. Oh, he's a pugilist and he's using that ability. Alright, control 2. Where have I got to go? I don't know where I've got to go. Oh, okay, well that should be obvious. Okay, now I know where I've got to go. Alright, I can't use Mug again. But we can get him down as quick as we can before he does any rum fun, right? And this guy heals himself. Let's give him something else to worry about. What's my health doing? I got nicked. What? Gonna get nicked again if I don't move. From behind if we can. I don't have the ability that negates the direction, so... What, did he just... rude? Now you're dead. Okay, where am I going to go? I just come up there, so we must be going this way. I don't think there's a wrong way. Alright, Bastard's made a solid rock. Roselore, get over here and start chipping. Yep, we did that. I'm assuming we've got to go this way. I don't have Mug. Another sellsword captain. Hey, Jackie. Oh, we did it. Alright. Whew. Got it. Rogues! Not to mention no one mentioned aught about rogues. What the hell do you think you're doing? I am conducting a business transaction on behalf of the bloody executioners. Do you understand what that means? Do you know what they'll do to you? Aye, I'm all affrighted. Odds then that you're the one who's shaken. It don't much matter to me who you work for. Your bosses broke the code and we're here to collect. Those would be the Silver Sorrows then. I'm sure you paid a caravan of gold for them shiny baubles, but I doubt they're worth your life. Let's have them then. Well, wait, damn you. You should know that this personage is an extremely influential member of the East Alderney Trading Company. Surely you've heard of it. If the threat of reprisal will not stay your hand, then consider the political ramifications of interfering with a foreign dignitary. The Admiral would not desire you to damage Limsa's relations with Ul'dah. Yes, exactly. I am very highly placed in Ul'dah's society. I have powerful friends who would not be pleased for you to mistreat me in any fashion. And you must understand the Silver Sorrows are a historical treasure, a gift once bestowed upon Sultana Nanasha ul Nasha by her champion. The earrings were later stolen from the royal vault, and we'd lost hope of ever recovering them. That I might so easily purchase them thus is a miracle. The return on these trinkets will be, that is to say, the sorrows must be returned to Ul'dah. Can you not look the other way for the sake of my nation's pride? You must think me some dull-witted thug. If this deal was being made on behalf of your company, then why are you sneaking about and consulting with pirates? An excellent point. One might doubt your quality of character were you to continue with these feeble fabrications. Glad I guessed right. You need only entrust those earrings to me, should you truly wish to see them returned to Ul'dah, that is. After all, 'twas to fulfil that very purpose that the thalassocracy bid on the sorrows in the first place. Bit late there, aren't you, Captain? I think you'll agree this round belongs to us. On the contrary, my dear scoundrel, I made the winning move the moment I knew we were dealing with a merchant of Ul'dah. I come bearing an official order of seizure, authorized by the Admiral herself. You will not be harmed, but I must insist that you cooperate with this reclamation of unlawfully obtained goods. Though Costa del Sol is private property, it nevertheless lies within state-governed territory. Come along quietly, and we need not inconvenience Master Gagaruju any further. These suspects will be taken into Yellow Jacket custody, and do not concern yourself with the Silver Sorrows. They'll be quite safe with me. The look on her face. She just comes in. We do the work, and she just comes in and takes them. Man, Jackie's going to be irritated. Jackie? Bah! Else take that canary-coloured harpy. We might as well have handed the things to her on a velvet cushion. I'll go find Underfoot and help him with his digging. There's still that last treasure out there, and you can be sure the reformers won't be giving it up without a fight. Aye, you do that. Any luck to you, love. Ah, there you are. You left before events had truly been decided, and I thought you deserved to know the score. The Ul'dah merchant has acquiesced to our request and surrendered the Silver Sorrows into our keeping. We've also apprehended the reformer's accountant and will be holding him for further questioning. Oh ho! Boning an associate of the bloody executioners? You yellow jackets don't flinch from your duty, I'll give you that. And what's this I hear about you buying information, Captain? I thought you'd sooner die than associate with elements of the underworld. I will do what I must to stay ahead in this challenge, and that Marketeer's knowledge was vital to the case. 'Tis true I might find his practices distasteful, but he is no pirate. It is the fading era of piracy which I mean to consign to the history books, and that chapter will never be fully closed until every pirate-spawned relic, including you and your guild, becomes a thing of the past. Valiant and forthright, these are the words by which the Yellow Jackets live. It is the manner in which we protect Limsa. I swore an oath on the graves of my sisters. No more shall the innocent suffer at the hands of these savage buccaneers, these unrepentant killers. And a grand oath it is. Me, I've got me fanboys full just keeping the code intact. But the code is a kind of oath too, when you get down to it. And since I've sworn to uphold it, I've no intention of stepping aside and letting you trample all over me or me coves. In fact, you're better off giving in now before matters get proper serious. Just say you're sorry, admit defeat, and we'll leave it at that, eh? Your audacity knows no bounds. I am done wasting words. I shall reclaim that last treasure, and then I will look on victorious as your guild is dismantled, brick by brick. That's the spirit, Captain. Just don't forget to keep an eye on them earrings. City's crawling with rogues, you know. You could keep the sorrows in a bloody lockbox in the Coral Tower, but look away for a moment, and one of me coves will bite them beauties right back. Come on, Roselore. It's back to the sisters for us. Well, well, well. But guys, on that note, I am going to bid you adieu. If you enjoyed the episode, please hit like. If you want to see more, please hit subscribe. And I'll check you later. Take care out there.